Hey, what is up YouTube? It's Malorn here and I'm here with another great video for you guys today. So today we are we're in Zafaria at the moment, we're in Stone Town. This is my favorite little place to go because it's a nice little area in Zafaria. It's like a little zoo, you know? And you had to, they actually had one of Wizard City's wizards on display here there for a bit. It was one of my favorite quests whenever I was a young wizard. I'm not sure what these things are, but look like little gobbler type things. I'm not certain. And then here's some little snow cats, some little polar cats. I could have sworn there was a Triton in here at one point, but I don't see him right now, so he's not currently there. It's another one of those, except this time he's got like one of those little cat toys. A scratching tower. We got a little wild claw, and then we got a burning, well, not a burning rampage. We got a firezilla and a baby firezilla. And it looks like they're eating lava out of that thing. That sounds delicious. Anyway, so what this video is about today is I promised that the personality series was going to be 3 parts, and it is. So this is part 2 of the 3-part series. Today we've got some interesting personalities. Some of them you may have heard of, some of them you may not have. In the previous video, most of those almost everyone knows at least 1 or 2 of them. But in this case, some of them tend to be more loner types, and some of them tend to just not be very common to begin with. But they do exist, and you can occasionally find them if you're looking in the right places. And if you notice certain things about them, I guess. Alright, so we're going to start with number 1. This one, most of us do know. This is the Alpha. Now, the Alpha in this case will, when you're going into a battle, they will almost always be the first person to try and dictate the battle plan. And they're usually really good at it. They're usually really good in a battle, and they're really good at coming up with plans. And their plans usually tend to work out really, really well. However, they don't like it when people disagree with them. So if someone goes off the rails and does something on their own, or the one of the other people on their team, you know, maybe they do something and it accidentally messes up the battle, the Alpha will lose their crap. They will lose it. Alright? It won't be like a big time like hissy fit, alright, but their ego will be a bit bruised. They do have a little bit of an ego, and they will make it known that they are upset with you, alright? It won't come out as like a super angry rant, but it'll come out more like, hey, what are you doing? You just messed everything up, or you didn't follow the plan, you know, they'll ridicule you. They will give you a bit of a lashing for it, right? Number 2 is the clansmen. Now these guys, they enjoy staying in clans. They create clans, they like to go to parties. They don't actually spend very much time doing in-game stuff. Like, they don't garden, they don't decorate castles very often unless a clan dictates that that's what they need to do. They don't play the game the way that, you know, most other people play it. They don't quest. They don't have any desire to, you know, make a really good pet. They don't have any desire to advance their character in the game. That's just not what they're there for. They are there more for the social aspects of Wizard101. They don't care about anything else. So clans, if a clan dictates that they need to do something on their wizard, because they are in that clan and they are social people, they will usually go and do it because it's what the clan wants. It's what the clan has decided, hey, you should do this, so go do it. They'll do it. They aren't doing it because they have a desire to advance their character. They don't care. They're advancing the clan. They're trying to seem more and more reliable to a large group of people, you know. Now, on the other hand, you've got the clan leaders, and I'm going to go ahead and put these guys under the same title, because they're all clansmen. They all do the same thing. The only difference is one is at the top and the others usually take the orders. The clan leaders will usually, they're almost like the Alpha, except, again, they don't have any desire to advance their character either. Alright. Usually in this case, they are wizards who aren't happy with where the game is going, so they've decided to do their own thing in the game and they're just not questing anymore, or they, they've already finished their wizard, they don't really have anything else that they need to advance, so they create large groups of people that they can hang out with in between, updates. And it gives them something to do because they know how the game works, they know how to keep a clan going and how to operate it, so that's what they do. They spend their off time doing that. Let's see. The next one is going to be the Chatty Cathy. These guys, they spend all of their time in the commons. All of it. They don't leave the commons. It seems like that anyways. They're always just talking in the commons. It's always the commons. Always like Realm Woo or Realm Troll. It's like realm specific too. It's pretty crazy actually. But they spend so much time in the commons just talking and talking and talking and talking and talking and talking, and they almost don't get anything done at all. These guys are very well known because sometimes they turn into the people that we don't like, the trolls, the noobs, and the beggar kind of falls under all of those, They turn into the people who are constantly bugging you for crowns, and who are constantly bugging you for treasure cards, and who are constantly bugging you for help. And then whenever you finally do help them with their quests or whatever, the next thing you know, you see them in the commons again. It's like they don't actually want to do anything on their own. They just want you to help them slowly advance through the game. They don't really want to get it done with. They don't want to finish the game. I'm really not sure what's going through their heads when they ask you for help, because, like I said, they'll just go straight back to what they were doing before, until someone else comes along and helps them again. So they're pretty lazy, honestly. They don't want to put any effort into anything. Sometimes these people, on the other hand, again, this is pretty common, when someone finishes the game in between updates, you will almost always find them doing other things. Obviously, they have to find something else to do, but sometimes those things are less than productive. They don't, instead of spending their time on a pet or spending their time gardening, because we all have side activities that we need to get done even after we've finished questing. Alright, I've still got a lot of monstrology work to do. I've still got a lot of crafting I need to put into. I've still got my couch potato garden that I take care of. We've all got things we can be doing in between updates. Some people, they just leave the game entirely until the next update. Some people, they go to the commons and they talk and hang out and stuff like that. And they don't really do anything productive, but they do make friends, and that's good. You always want to be kind of social. Some of them create clans. Some of them join clans. People who finish the game, they're almost, it's like a scatterall, alright? They just go everywhere else. They scatter all across the spiral, and they're doing all these different things. So they're like their own category. If you finish the game, you could be any one of these personalities. Alright, because I've also noticed that people, when they aren't questing with someone else, or when they're done questing, they go from being someone who's super focused and who's quiet, or maybe who's focused but they can hold a conversation. They go to the complete opposite of that when they're alone or whatever. There's nothing to do. People, it's like their personalities completely change when you finish the game. It's a whole different situation. So the next one after the Chatty Cathy, the guy who spends all his time in the comments. I keep saying guy, but obviously it's not specific. Whatever. The next one's going to be the Beast. Now, I mentioned this guy in the previous video, and I didn't go into a lot of detail about him. I said that he was worse than some of the characteristics that I had provided for some of the less desirable people in the game in the last video. So, this guy you want to avoid unless you're just like him, in which case I really hope you change, man, because no one likes you. I don't want that to be rude or sound rude, but it's true. People avoid this guy unless they're just like them, and there's a reason for this, and I'm gonna explain that now. This one's kind of lengthy. I did type these down, and I'm not actually reading it by script, but I'm taking certain details from what I wrote, because I don't know, it just feels more organized to me. But anyways, it took me about 20 minutes to get all this information. Um, they're usually good at everything in the game. Okay, and the things that they're not good at, they don't usually put any effort into trying to learn those. The things that they learn really quickly, though, they become almost experts at it. They are usually incredibly good in those areas. Um, but sometimes you'll find the ones that are just they're good at everything, and it's actually kind of annoying. But it's annoying for a different reason, and I'll explain that here in a sec. It's more the way that they go about letting people know, you know. All right, so let's see. They don't like to help lower levels. This much is pretty common with people who are jerks in the game. They don't want to help you at all. If they add you as a friend and you're like 50 levels below them, it's so that they can spend their time ridiculing you or picking on you, or maybe a lot of times they add lower levels because lower levels they almost worship higher levels sometimes. Like you'll notice that when you're in a battle with a new player, if you're like a level 120 or a level 125, and you do like 20,000 damage, 30,000 damage, maybe you do 100,000 damage in one hit. You know, you have all these blades on and all these traps, and you've got feints up, and you know your stats are just so much better than theirs. You'll notice that a lot of times these low levels will be like, "Whoa! Oh my God, that's so cool! When can I do that? Can you help me do that?" You know, that kind of a thing. They're worshiping. That's what I like to call it. They're worshiping the higher level, and that does happen. It's happened to me a couple of times, but these were also people that I was helping through the game, so you know, I was happy to help them. I like to help my friends sometimes, and it is good. It is nice to have that kind of admiration for the really cool things you do. But again, it's all about the way that you take it. All right, and I took it in as modest of a way as I could, um, and I still continued to help them. Again, this guy's not going to help you. He has no desire to do that. And if he does help you, if he joins your battle or whatever, the only reason he's doing that is to show you how cool he is, to show you how much damage he can do, or you know how awesome his gear is, or how awesome his pet is, what his pet can do, you know, that kind of a thing. No interest in helping you whatsoever, purely selfish reasons. The next thing about this guy is he's likely on his second or third Wizard101 account because the previous one or two have likely been banned. He has a very, very, very foul mouth. He's not a very nice guy. And again, the only people that like this guy are the people who are just like him, and these are people he wants to avoid. He's got a very foul mouth. He gets suspended easily, his accounts are always muted, and then eventually they become banned, and he constantly is creating new ones over and over and over again because he can't seem to just calm down and be nice for a little bit. It's almost just outside the realm of possibility for him. He's got the ego, he's good at everything in the game, and honestly, after being banned 1, 2, 3 times, it's a mystery as to why he continues playing instead of moving on to games that have communities that are much more welcoming to his kind. And especially another game that's rated E10 plus and does everything in their power to keep that rating. KI has a bit of a banhammer issue with everything, and these guys don't seem the least bit concerned about that. They just make a new account when they get banned, and it's fine, you know. Yeah, so these aren't nice people. Avoid these guys at all costs. Also, a lot of times, and I know that, you know, KI doesn't recommend doing this, but sometimes if you have a really trustworthy friend and you need help, you know, you'll give them your account information, and you know, sometimes if your friend is really trustworthy and you've had them for a while, they're not going to mess with your account. I've done it a couple of times, and you know, these are people that I knew well, but you always have to watch out because when you are giving your account information away, don't give it away to someone like this. It doesn't matter how long they've been on your friends list. If they're like this, they are going to take your account and they're going to steal it. If you have anything good on it, they're going to take it all. They're going to completely wipe it clean. And this was actually on my old account that I used to do this. I would never give my information away on this account purely because there's so much stuff on this account that I can't risk having someone take. So I don't know. It's just this account seems so much more special to me than some of my previous ones that I've had. So even believe me, even my most trustworthy friends, they don't know my information and they never will. It doesn't matter if I need help or anything. This account is not going to anyone else. And if you have a really good account like this one, I wouldn't recommend giving it away either. Again, just follow what KI says on that. The next one's going to be the Mime. This guy is not exactly bad. He's kind of annoying. And he's annoying more in the sense that, one, he's constantly jealous. If you've got something good on your account, he's jealous of it, and he's going to do everything in his power to get that. He's not going to, again, this guy he's not bad. If you did give him your account information, which I don't recommend doing, but if you did, he wouldn't take it from you because what he wants to do is he wants to get the same thing on his own and one-up you. To him, everything is going to be a competition. Every single thing he does is going to be to one-up someone around him or someone on his friends list. It's going to be to get that and rub it in their face because they rubbed it in his face and now he feels entitled to do the same. And he's going to. He will put so much effort into it. It's almost inevitable that he's going to get something better than you because he's going to do everything he can to do that. The other thing is, if you have a castle and you decorate it in a certain way and you show it to him, he's going to go and he's going to decorate the castle in the same way, but he's going to add slight changes to it. Like maybe he's going to put some castle magic in there and, you press a button and maybe the big statue that you have in your front yard, in his castle, that big statue grows like 3 times its own size, because that's what castle magic does. Or maybe he's going to have some castle glitches. So maybe in your castle, you've got some boats sitting near the water, right? This guy's going to go and he's going to castle glitch those boats into the water because that's better than what your castle is. It's much more realistic, so he's going to do it because it makes him better than you, at least in his opinion. With gear, if you have really, really good gear, he's going to go and he's going to get the same gear, but if there's anything better, he's going to kind of toss it in. And he's not going to do this because he wants to improve his character. That's kind of an added benefit. Again, it's all about intentions here. He's going to do it because you have it and he doesn't. And then because he's still, I guess because copying you didn't get rid of his jealousy, he has to go and he has to get something better. Now his jealousy's gone and it's taken care of because now his wizard is quote-unquote better than yours. Just at least the way he sees it. Alright, that's the Mime. He's basically a copycat times 2. So, he's a copycat with extra effects. So the next one's going to be the account salesman. Now this guy, he is a lone wolf. He goes, for the most part, he goes to the game, and the only reason he's playing is so that after he's done, he can sell the account on an account trading website somewhere on the internet. Alright, because a really good Wizard101 account can go $200, $300. Alright, that's, you don't even have to put any money into it. Just have, all of the wizards on it, just make sure they're all max level. Obviously, you may have to put some membership money into it, but other than that, if you really work at it and you quest hard, you can get all of those wizards leveled up completely in, 5 months. So that's $50, and then if that's all you spend on them, and you just do the rest of it's just farming and stuff, and it is possible, if you put a lot of work into it, you can finish one full account in 5 months, 4 months, 3 months, probably even less. Alright, and if you have a few friends to help you, it usually tends to go a lot faster. So he can make, a $200, $300 profit while only spending $50, $60 at most. Because depending on how good the account is, they can be worth quite a bit. Obviously, some people have accounts and they've spent, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. If you go to one of these websites and you try and sell it for its actual value, it's not going to sell for that much. Okay, so that's why these guys, they don't sell their older accounts, because they'd be losing, they would have lost money. Okay, unless they're just completely done playing the game for good, they don't sell these accounts. But they will constantly create new ones and level them up and spend as little money as possible. That way they can sell that and they can sell it for, much more than what it's actually valued at. So I'm not kidding. These accounts can sell for $300, $400 a piece. Okay, I once tried to, I was going to quit the game. I once tried to sell one of my old accounts. It was, at the time, it was considered really good. Nowadays, it would be absolute junk. Okay, this was back when the Waterworks was still the popular gear set that people used, right? It was considered a pretty good account. And back then, an average account probably would have been worth $200, $250. I mean, the actual value, if you bought a lot of crowns and had a lot of membership, over the years, would have been more like maybe $1,500, $2,000. Um, but in this case, if you were to constantly make new accounts, you could have sold it for maybe 200, 250. Um, and oh, I sold it for about $300 because I thought that I was going to quit the game. Big mistake. I ended up having to make a new account, but I guess it wasn't a big mistake because that's this one. Uh, Anyways, it sold for a decent profit, and there you go. I had a bit of money to go with, and I finally got back into the game because a friend reintroduced me, and here I am. This is not an account that I would ever attempt to sell, but if I did, it could end up being worth about $500, $600, though I have spent much more money on this. The next one, actually, I'm gonna go a little further into detail with the account salesman because I just remembered that I mentioned he was a bit of a lone wolf. I want to explain that just a little bit more, and then we'll move on to the next one. When I say he's a lone wolf, I mean that he's not playing the game to make friends. Okay, he's playing the game to go back and sell the account. If he adds you, it's because he wants you to help him, and he's not likely to help you at all. Now, this isn't because he's a bad person, but this is because the only reason he created the account is so he could make a profit off of it. It's not so that he could help you or that he has no intention of keeping this account. And when he sells this account, he's going to remove everyone on the friends list, before it's sold. That way, the previous or whoever bought it can go through and they can add their own friends, right? So you're not going to be on his friends list very long if he does add you, and if he does add you, it's only so that he can have you help him, so he can use you, right? One thing to keep in mind, though, is a lot of them realize this. They realize that they're going to have to do that, so they just try and avoid adding people altogether. Like, if they're on a quest and they see someone questing along, they'll join them. They will. They'll join them while they're questing, but they won't add them as a friend. And, if the other person logs off, they're going to continue on. Okay, they're usually, they've done a lot of these accounts. They've probably sold a good 5 or 6 of them at this point. So they know how to get through the game easily, and they know, the points in time, I guess, that they need help. Farming Darkmoor, farming Tartarus, that kind of a thing. They know when they're going to need help, and they know when they're not going to need help. And they know how to solo really, really well because they've had that experience. So a lot of the dungeons that the average player would have to have, 2 or 3 people helping him with, he can do on his own because he's done it multiple times, right? And then obviously he's going to go and he's going to sell the account. And then he's going to make another one, repeat, rinse, wash, repeat, whatever. There. So if he does add you, you're not going to be on this friends list very long. And it's usually pretty easy to spot these guys. The only difference is you can easily mix them up with just someone who's purely selfish, because the only way you can tell this guy from any other player is really just how he treats his friends. If he talks to you a lot, do you think he talks to any of his friends? I mean, he won't have a conversation with you if he's going to sell the account. He's not going to, become best buddies with you because that'll make it harder to sell. Or maybe if he's got an older account and he does become friends with you, he'll add you on the older account, but then obviously that's a dead giveaway. Hey, I'm going to sell this account. Then you'll know for sure. But he'll usually try to avoid contact with you altogether. The next one's going to be the I Spy. Now, this guy, he spends a lot of time in castle tours, and he spends a lot of time in other people's castles. He almost never decorates his own castles because he's only interested in you. He's only interested in other people. He's not interested in anything having to do with himself. And the reason for this is because he, most likely in the game, he doesn't have a, let's try to explain this. He's not very socially adept. He's not very good at talking to people. And, you know, at first he'll come off really, really nice. And then it starts getting annoying. Okay, he'll constantly port to you at the wrong moments. So if you're in a really difficult battle, he'll port to you, and now you've got 2 or 3 more mobs that you have to deal with. And that just ticks you off. Or maybe you're just about to kill, and he ports in, and now another one joins. And maybe it's a street boss, and now you've got a whole other, you know, mess of problems you have to deal with. And he doesn't care. He doesn't care that he just did that, and that, you know, you have to deal with it. He'll try and strike up conversation with you while you're in the battle, trying to focus on killing the thing that he just invited in. And he won't help at all. He's not there to help you. He's there to talk. So he's just going to pass the whole time. Mostly because he's usually going to be a low level. He's not going to be a super high level. So most likely level 20, level 30, 40, 50, probably nothing above. Alright? And most likely he does have a membership. Okay? Because that's what he does. He ports people. Right? The other thing that you want to take into consideration is I don't really know how to say this. He's going to beg a lot, but not for help, not for crowns. This is probably not something you've run into very often. He's going to ask you if you can buy him, you know, game cards or memberships. The reason for this is because he's probably young. Okay, he does usually have a membership, at least when he's interacting with you, because port to you in high level areas, he's got to have a membership. Okay, but he doesn't get the membership on his own. Maybe the first one, maybe the second one he got on his own, and maybe now he doesn't have any money, so now he's going to ask you if you can buy him a membership. Pretty common thing. The only thing is, you know, begging, it's usually help or usually crowns, because people usually buy their own membership. It's silly to ask someone else, right? But these guys, they don't care. Okay? The only reason they're playing the game, and I don't think they realize that this is what they are doing or what they're trying to do. I don't think they know what they want to do. They want to annoy you, they want to bug you, they want to bother you, but they don't know that that's what they want to do. They don't understand their own wants. They don't understand their own needs. They have no basic understanding of their own personality. They are completely, almost utterly unaware. They have almost no self-awareness. Okay, it's almost non-existent with these people. Okay, nothing they do is about themselves. They're always going to be bugging you. It's for their own self-satisfaction, but they don't know that. Alright, so they're going to constantly port to you. They're going to constantly be in your castles looking around. They're going to constantly be in castle tours, maybe bugging someone in castle tours. This is also going to be the guy that if you're the chatty Cathy in the comments, he's going to come in and he's going to join your group, and he's just going to bug the crap out of everyone. He might even turn into a troll and just start being, you know, super rude. He's going to be nice at first to kind of weasel his way in, and then slowly but steadily the conversation will start turning. Okay? And it doesn't take very long because they're not self-aware. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're saying. They don't know the impact of what they're saying. They just have no understanding of it. Alright, unlike the troll understands what he's doing. He doesn't care, but he knows it. He knows what's going on. He knows the impact of it. He has a full understanding of that. But this guy doesn't. Okay, he doesn't get it. Okay, he knows how to be nice. He knows how to talk. He knows how to be nice. He knows how to be mean. You know, he knows how to do these things. He just doesn't understand them. He doesn't understand that he knows how to do this, I guess. He's completely he doesn't know, I guess. That's all you can say. You know, that's the only way you can say that is because he doesn't. You know, you'll ask him, "Hey, why are you bugging me?" And a lot of times his answer is going to be, "I didn't realize I was bugging you. I'm sorry." You know, he doesn't know that he's annoying you. He's not trying to do it on purpose. Although I'm not saying that you want to be friends with this guy, because believe me, there's a certain limit that a person can take, right? Even if the person doesn't realize that what they're doing is, annoying, or that what they're doing is bad, you still, at a certain point, you just can't take it anymore, and you're gonna end up removing them. It's a sad truth, but it happens. Anyways, that's the last one for today. That last one was it's kind of tricky because sometimes it's pretty hard to wrap your mind around those kind of people. It's hard to understand how someone could just be um, so unaware of who they are. I guess it's hard to understand how someone couldn't have such basic understandings of who they are as a person. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to like, be sure to comment, and be sure to subscribe for more amazing content. The part 3 of the 3 will be coming soon. That one is going to dwell, I'm not sure. It's going to go more into detail with what I like to call sub-personalities. Alright, you've got, gardening, and you've got monstrology, and you've got all these different things, right? What I'm going to do in the next video, it's going to go into detail on the different personalities within these activities in the game. PvP, gardening, all this different stuff. This video will be it's coming soon, but not soon. It's going to be like 3 weeks, because I do have to do a bit of research into this one. It's going to be a pretty lengthy video. In fact, this might be like a 2-part video in and of itself, because there's so many activities in this game, there's so many personalities involved, and I really do want to go into detail with those. Obviously, if you don't need that much information, this video and then the one before it, that there's plenty of information available there just for the kind of cover-all, personalities. But if you do want to go more into detail with them, be sure to check out my 3rd video whenever it comes out. I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to like, be sure to comment, and be sure to subscribe for more amazing content, and I will see you guys next time on my next video. Peace out.